For the little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
This is a sports talk.
In August about the Scorched Earth Tour I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to take around a league that had spent its summer talking about all the great new quarterbacks and seeming to forget about the old one. Turns out, however, maybe I was wrong and they were right, because here's the truth. Aaron Rodgers has been an average quarterback for a while now. This year, his QBR places him 16th in a 32-team league. He is sandwiched between Kyler Murray and Jameis Winston. His yards per attempt, which is number 1 on Bill Polian's list of championship indicators, is also 16th this year. It's 19th over the last 2 years. It's 22nd over the last 3. And his team punts on 43%, which is 27th in the NFL, 1 spot behind the Bengals. Now, all of this was supposed to be Mike McCarthy's fault, so they fired him. Or it was the defense's fault, so they spent $154 million on that. Or it was the running game, except Aaron Jones is tied for second in the league in touchdowns. Then it was the receivers, but they have the highest separation rate in the league. They are getting open. And then the offensive line is number 1 in the league in pass protection this year. So maybe, just maybe, it's actually the quarterback. Here's one more stat. Aaron Rodgers' completion rate on tight window throws, the stuff that made him a legend, is 31st in the sport this season. So this is what I want to say now. The season is far from over. The Packers are going to be in the playoffs, and I am hoping against hope that number 12 recaptures all of the magic that made him, at his best, the best quarterback I've ever seen. Because he...
Yeah, his wide receivers are getting separation. But still, they only have Adams to throw to. No fault to Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham ain't been the same since New Orleans. Haven't been the same. So the only person he could throw to is Adams. Like, he got some other okay wide receivers, but when you only got that one guy, it do be tough on a quarterback. Because when the teams double team him and take him away, then what you do after that? And then sometimes he do hold it for a while alone because he only got one guy. You know, you would think Jimmy Graham would be the same guy, but he haven't been the same since the Saints.
Been a far cry from that of late. And when my friend Stephen A. calls him a bad man, I do not want that meant literally. Those are my thoughts. Let's bring it out to the table here. I'm looking for a reaction. I know I'm going to get a lot of it. Vilma, I'm looking right at you.
Wow, that's my first reaction. I completely disagree with Aaron Rodgers being average, because you can make the stats say and do whatever you want them to say. So if you're looking to find average stats, that's what you're going to find, because that's what you want to talk about. But the truth is, Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. You talked about Aaron Jones with rushing touchdowns. Well, Aaron Jones is 18th in rushing. So you can't tell me that the running game has improved oh so much. Then you look at the system that he's in. With Mike McCarthy, you had levels routes, which means one guy low, one guy high, and he would fit it into whichever was open. It's not like that anymore. Then we talked about receivers getting open. That's just complete BS. I've watched the film. There is nobody sitting there separating at an alarming rate. You have maybe Devontae Adams. Outside of that, there is nobody there. And I'm saying nobody there isn't made Aaron Rodgers so great and so famous what we saw before. So that's where I'm looking at. Aaron Rodgers playing within the system. Oh, by the way, only 2 interceptions. That's what I love. Only 2.
Only two picks. Only those 2 interceptions. That's not an average quarterback. No one ain't talking about him being in the discussion of MVP. He should be. Even though Lamar Jackson gonna end up getting that trophy, but he should be in the talk as well. Because he only threw 2 picks. I told you, outside of Adams, who can you throw to? You see, they struggled a little bit when he was out. When he in there, they don't struggle as much, but he get double teamed. Who can step up and help this man? Aaron Rodgers make this team go. Without Aaron Rodgers, Greenberg ain't the same. He is the team. They need him to go far and win a championship. But it's up to the other guys to step up with him and Adams. I told you. That team ain't going nowhere unless number 12 is on the field.
2 interceptions, he is giving his team every chance to keep winning.
Yeah, Aaron's not the same off-schedule creator magician that he used to be. There's no question about that. He doesn't have the same kind of weaponry that he used to when he was at his heyday. Jordy Nelson's not there anymore. Greg Jennings isn't there anymore. Randall Cobb isn't there anymore. He doesn't have those types of guys. James Jones not there. He doesn't have those guys that when plays break down or when he makes them break down because he wants them to break down, they know where he needs them to be, and then he's putting them in those 50-50 catch situations where these guys are coming up with great plays. They have one guy really who can win contested balls right now, and that's Devontae Adams. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is not doing that. Geronimo Allison is not doing that. Jake Kumaro is not doing that. And this offense, you know what? You make a good point. They are not a deep strike offense. They are a quick game offense. They are a screen offense. And quite honestly, as much as Matt LaFleur was supposed to turn this offense on its head and make it much more creative, it's quite honestly, when you watch it, it's rather boring. It's rather static.
Yes.
It almost looks old school West Coast. Now, 2 weeks ago against the New York Giants, they went to a lot more play action pass, which kind of generates more deep shots, and he threw 4 touchdowns in that game.
The New York Giants, I could throw 4 touchdowns.
But you know what? It isn't so much just about the team, it's about the play construct. It looks different. They have to do some different things in order for him to really pick it up from a stats production standpoint, because right now this offense is very static, and it's not just on Aaron.
Well, they have to help their secondary weapons and improve those a little bit as well in the offseason, but...
Like he's saying, when you don't have that many guys to really go to, it can hurt you. Because in the playoffs, it's a different type of game. That's when everybody clamp down and double team that one guy. Who gonna step up with this man in the playoffs? Because you can't continue to go to one guy. You see, your coach gotta be creative to be able to try to do something to get Aaron Rodgers to throw to other people to be able to score them 4 touchdowns. It don't matter who he played. You still gotta play that team because they still in the NFL. They're still NFL guys. They still put in the same hands as you. One leg at a time, just like you. It just, when the playoff comes, it's gotta be a different outcome. Because it's a different type of league now. Once you in the, it's a playoff, the season start all over again. Everyone knows what they want. They want to win the championship. And it's gonna be different. They not gonna let you do the same thing that you did in the regular season.
Am I mistaken? Are the Green Bay Packers still not leading the North?
10-3.
I mean, they're on pace to win the North, which is
Greeny's burying them.
Yeah, one of the most competitive divisions.
He's burying it.
I'm doing nothing of the kind. I am speaking facts.
Well, you are. But I think the best part about it is the fact that Aaron Rodgers is throwing 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
That's a fact.
He has a better defense. He has a great running attack now. So maybe he doesn't have to go out there, Lewis, and go try to win every single game. Isn't that what?
And he looked a lot better off a play action pass 2 weeks ago. That's a fact.
Another fact. Thank you. Matter of fact, who would you put top 5 better than Aaron Rodgers right now?
Maybe 4 more.
Yeah. There are any number of players who he has, as I mentioned,
Who would you put right now, Greeny, top 5 if you don't have Aaron Rodgers there?
Oh, well, I mean,
see, it's a different thing now. That time he ain't had no defense, so he had to put up the points. He had to do all that. Now they gave him a defense that he don't have to do a whole lot like he normally used to. Like he's still gonna do his job to be able to help them try to go win one. But when you have a good defense, you don't have to do all the things you had to put all the points up. Because you got a defense that can stop opposing teams. You got a good defense now to be able to give you the football back. And not let everyone go over down the field like they normally used to. Now they put a good defense around you. And his stats, 23 touchdowns and 2 picks. And nobody talking about that. All you can talk about is the bad things that's going on with him. He really had an MVP type season. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that, but at the same time, he got a good defense.
this season, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson.
Deshaun Watson looked pretty average last week.
Right now, would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, if you had equal weapons,
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
would you pick Aaron?
about this? Let's just look at Aaron Rodgers' arm. Is it still live? It is a live arm every time,
I see
right?
your point,
okay,
Kenny, but I think there's just a lot of other nuance involved with it. But I see your point.
I think there is an element of we don't want to believe sometimes what our eyes are seeing because we admire the guy so much, and I think that's what's happening.
You made me stay up until 3 in the morning watching film on Aaron Rodgers to make sure this argument, my eyes didn't lie to me when I discussed it.
You're portraying him to be Michael Jordan with the Wizards right now, and this is more like second three-peat.
There are people who believe exactly what you're saying, that he is on the downswing.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download